I'm Mrs. Cadler and I'll be reading Horrid Henry and the Football Fiend by Francesca Simon. Chapter 1. And with 15 seconds to go, it's Hotfoot Henry racing across the pitch. Rooney tries a slide tackle, but Henry's too quick. Just look at that step over. Oh no, he can't score from that distance. It's crazy. It's impossible. Oh my goodness, he cornered the ball. It's in. It's in. Another spectacular win, and it's all thanks to Hotfoot Henry, the greatest footballer who ever lived. Goal! 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 Roared the crowd. Hotfoot Henry had won the match. His teammates carried him through, the fans cheering and chanting, Henry! 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 Horrid Henry looked up to see Miss Battleaxe leaning over the table and glaring at him with her red eyes. What did I just say? Henry, said Horrid Henry. Miss Battleaxe scowled. I'm watching you, Henry, she snapped. Now, class, please pay attention. We need to discuss... Ah! Wailed Weepy William. Susan, stop pulling my hair, squealed Vain Violet. Miss, shouted Inky Ian. Ralph snatched my pen. I didn't, shouted Rude Ralph. Did, shouted Inky Ian. Class, be quiet, bellowed Miss Battleaxe. Wah! Wailed Weepy William. Ow! Squealed Vain Violet. Give it back! Shouted Inky Ian. Fine, said Miss Battleaxe. We won't talk about football. William stopped wailing. Violet stopped squealing. Ian stopped shouting. Henry stopped daydreaming. Everyone in the class stared at Miss Battleaxe. Chapter 2. Miss Battleaxe wanted to talk about football. Was this an alien Miss Battleaxe? As you all know, our local team, Ashton Athletic, has reached the 6th round of the FA Cup, said Miss Battleaxe. Yay! Shrieked the class. And I'm sure you all know what happened last night. Last night. Henry could still hear the announcer's glorious words as he and Peter had gathered round the radio as the draw for round 6 was announced. Number 16, Ashton Athletic, will be playing... There was a long pause as the announcer drew another ball from the hat. Number 7, Manchester United. Go, Ashton! Shrieked Horrid Henry. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, Miss Battleaxe glared at Horrid Henry. Ashton are playing Manchester United in a few weeks. Every local primary school has been given a pair of tickets, and thanks to my good luck in the teacher's draw, the lucky winner will come from our class. Me! Screamed Horrid Henry. Me! Screamed Moody Margaret. Me! Screamed Tough Toby, Aerobic Owl, Fiery Fiona, and Brainy Brian. No one who shouts will be getting anything, said Miss Battleaxe. Our class will be playing a football match at lunchtime. The player of the match will win the tickets. I'm the referee and my decision will be final. Chapter 3. Horrid Henry was so stunned that for a moment he could scarcely breathe. FA Cup tickets. FA Cup tickets to see his local team, Ashton, play against Man U. Those tickets were like gold dust. Henry had begged and pleaded with Mum and Dad to get tickets, but naturally they were all sold out by the time Henry's mean, horrible, lazy parents managed to heave their stupid bones to the phone. And now, here was another chance to go to the match of the century. Ashton Athletic had never got so far in the cup. Sure, they'd knocked out the Tooting Tigers, the Pinchley Pythons and the Cheam Champions, but Manchester United! Henry had to go to the game. He just had to, and all he had to do was be man of the match. There was just one problem. Unfortunately, the best player in the class wasn't Horrid Henry, or Aerobic Owl, or Beefy Bert. The best footballer in the class was Moody Margaret. The second best player in the class was Moody Margaret. The third best player in the class was Moody Margaret. It was so unfair. Why should Margaret, of all people, be so fantastic at football? Horrid Henry was brilliant at shirt pulling. Horrid Henry was superb at screaming, offside! Whatever that meant. No one could howl, come on, ref! Louder. And at toe treading, elbowing, barging, pushing, shoving and tripping, Horrid Henry had no equal. The only thing Horrid Henry wasn't good at was playing football. But never mind. Today would be different. Today he would dig deep inside and find the power to be Hotfoot Henry, for real. Today no one would stop him. FA Cup match, here I come, thought Henry gleefully. Chapter 4. Lunchtime. Horrid Henry's class dashed to the back playground when the pitch was set up. 2 jumpers either end marked the goals. A few parents gathered on the sidelines. Miss Battleaxe split the class into 2 teams. Aerobic Owl was captain of Henry's team and Moody Margaret was the captain of the other. There she stood, in midfield, having nabbed a striker position, smirking confidently. Horrid Henry glared at her from the depths of the outfield. "Na, na, 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 na. I'm sure to be man of the match," trilled Moody Margaret, sticking out her tongue at him, "and you who won't." "Shut up, Margaret," said Henry. When he was king, anyone named Margaret would be boiled in oil and fed to the crows. "Will you take me to the match, Margaret?" said Susan. "After all, I'm your best friend." Moody Margaret scowled. "Since when?" "Since always," wailed Susan. "Huh," said Margaret. "We'll just have to see how nice you are to me, won't we?" "Take me," begged Brainy Brian. "Remember how I helped you with those fractions?" "And called me stupid," said Margaret. "Didn't," said Brian. "Did," said Margaret. Horrid Henry eyed his classmates, everyone looking straight ahead, everyone determined to be man of the match. Well, wouldn't they be in for a shock when Horrid Henry waltzed off with those tickets? Chapter 5. "Go, Margaret!" screeched Moody Margaret's mum. "Go, Al!" screeched Aerobic Owl's dad. "Everyone ready," said Miss Battleaxe. "Bert, which team are you on?" "I dunno," said Beefy Bert. Miss Battleaxe blew her whistle. "Kick off! Kick! Chase! Kick! Dribble! Dribble! Pass! Kick! Save! Goal kick!" Henry stood disconsolately at the left wing, running back and forth as the play passed him by. How could he ever be man of the match stuck out here? Well, no way was he staying in this stupid spot a moment longer. Horrid Henry abandoned his position and chased after the ball. All the other defenders followed him. Moody Margaret had the ball. Horrid Henry ran up behind her. He glanced at Miss Battleaxe. She was busy chatting to Mrs. Oddbod. Horrid Henry went for a 2-foot slide tackle and tripped her. "Foul! He hacked my leg!" "Liar! I just went for the ball." "Cheater!" screamed Moody Margaret's mum. "Play on!" ordered Miss Battleaxe. "Yes!" thought Henry triumphantly. After all, what did blind old Miss Battleaxe know about the rules of football? Nothing. This was his golden chance to score. Now Jazzy Jim had the ball. Horrid Henry trod on his toes, elbowed him and grabbed the ball. "Hey, we're on the same team," yelped Jim. Horrid Henry kept dribbling. "Pass, pass," screamed Al. "Man on!" Henry ignored him. Pass the ball? Was Al mad? For once, Henry had the ball and he was keeping it. Then suddenly Moody Margaret appeared from behind, barged him, dribbled the ball past Henry's team and kicked it straight past Weepy William into goal. Moody Margaret's team cheered. Weepy William burst into tears. "Wah!" wailed William. "Idiot!" screamed Aerobic Owl's dad. "She cheated! She fouled me!" shrieked Henry. "Didn't," said Margaret. "How dare you call my daughter a cheater?" screamed Moody Margaret's mum. Miss Battleaxe blew her whistle. "Goal to Margaret's team. The score is 1-0. Chapter 6. Horrid Henry gritted his teeth. He would score a goal if he had to trample on every player to do so. Unfortunately, everyone else had the same idea. "Ralph pushed me," shrieked Aerobic Owl. "Didn't," lied rude Ralph. "It was just a barge." "He used his hands, I saw him," howled Owl's father. "Send him off." "I'll send you off if you don't behave," snapped Miss Battleaxe, looking up and blowing a whistle. "It was kept in," protested Henry. "No way," shouted Margaret. "It went past the line." "That was ball to hand," yelled kind Kazim. "No way," screamed Aerobic Owl. "I went for the ball." "Liar, liar." "Free kick to Margaret's team," said Miss Battleaxe. "Ow!" screamed Soraya as Brian stepped on her toes, grabbed the ball and headed it into the goal past Kazim. "Hooray!" cheered Owl's team. "Foul!" screamed Margaret's team. "Score is 1-1, said Miss Battleaxe. 5 more minutes to go. Ugh, thought Horrid Henry. I've got to score a goal to have a chance to be man of the match. I've just got to. But how? How? Henry glanced at Miss Battleaxe. She appeared to be rummaging in her handbag. Henry saw his chance. He stuck out his foot and Margaret hurtled past. Crash! Margaret tumbled. Henry seized the goal. "Henry hacked my leg!" "Did not. I just went for the ball." "Ref!" screamed Margaret. "He cheated," screamed Margaret's mum. "Are you blind, ref?" Miss Battleaxe glared. My eyesight is perfect, thank you, she snapped. He chortled Horrid Henry. Horrid trod on Brian's toes, elbowed him and grabbed the ball. Then Dave elbowed Henry. Ralph trod on Dave's toes and Susan seized the ball and kicked it high overhead. Henry looked up. The ball was high, high up. He'd never reach it, not unless... Henry glanced at Miss Battleaxe. She was watching a traffic warden patrolling outside the school gate. Henry leapt into the air and whacked the ball with his hand. Thwack! The ball hurled across the goal. Goal! Screamed Henry. He used his hands, protested Margaret. No way, shouted Henry. It was the hand of God. Henry! Henry! Cheered his team. Unfair, howled Margaret's team. Miss Battleaxe blew her whistle. Time, she bellowed. Al's team wins 2-1. Yes, shrieked Horrid Henry, punching the air. He'd scored the winning goal. He'd be man of the match. Ashton Athletic versus Man U. Here I come. Horrid Henry's class limped through the door and sat down. Horrid Henry sat at the front, beaming. Miss Battleaxe had to award him tickets after his brilliant performance and spectacular game-winning goal. The question was, who deserved to be his guest? No one. I know, thought Horrid Henry. I'll sell my other ticket. I'll get £1 million for it. No, £1 billion. Then I'll buy my own football team and play strike at any time I want to. Horrid Henry smiled happily. Miss Battleaxe glared at her class. That was absolutely disgraceful, she said. Cheating, moving the goals, shirt tugging. She glared at Graham. Barging. She glared at Ralph. Pushing and shoving. Bad sportsmanship. Her eyes swept over the class. Henry sank lower in his seat. Oops. And don't get me started about offside, she snapped. Horrid Henry sank even lower. There was only one person who deserved to be player of the match, she continued. One person who observed the rules of the beautiful game. One person who has nothing to be ashamed of today. Horrid Henry's heart leapt. He certainly had nothing he was ashamed of. One person who can truly be proud of their performance. Horrid Henry beamed with pride. And that person is me, screamed Moody Margaret. Me, screamed Aerobic Owl. Me, screamed Horrid Henry. The referee, said Miss Battleaxe. What? Miss Battleaxe? Man of the match? Miss Battleaxe? A football fiend? It's not fair, screamed the class. It's not fair, screamed Horrid Henry.